was the kitchen and you talking to the chef. The laws was never liberated, I believe they hate us. It's in their DNA, that's from the creator. Have a spiritual connection that can morph us. Have to humble ourselves and call on our resources, our reinforcements. Life and death on these streets.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Word of Truth. This is 316 coming at y'all with another video, and I have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. You see the different setting. I think I'm gonna get me one of those mic extenders so I don't have to be bending down and stuff like that. I really just kind of did this spontaneously, so if I move this microphone a little bit too much, excuse me, but we in the building. There's a lot to talk about. We're gonna call this a dead generation, which it is, because there's so much going on, and in this world, especially with these smash and grabs. You have these smash and grabs that's going on right now, and that's been going on for a while, ever since the mask mandates or whatever the case may be, since this COVID has hit. To put it in simpler terms, these smash and grabs in the neighborhoods, in the black neighborhoods and communities, is disgusting. Owners can't do anything about it because, you know, they just coming in and ransacking the place and taking whatever they want and leaving little to nothing left. And they're coming back constantly. So these owners are missing and losing thousands and thousands of dollars, and which at some point will force them out of business. And it's unfortunate because, you know, it's something that needs to be done about that. So it's real hectic out there. I mean, I'm like, where are the parents at? Like, and I'm talking about these are groups of children going into these stores, and they just ransacking the place. I mean, this is unprecedented. You know, I remember when I was young, and we ain't do stuff like that. We used to steal. You know, I tried to steal one time, and I got caught, and never again. You know, and this was in a store, and this was when I was a little child, whatever, young child coming up. I learned my lesson early, but you had some of those that were very skillful, and they was like, you know, professional thieves, so they got away with it. But not I, you know. But that's all good. But the smash and grabs and the just the total disrespect, you know, from this younger generation, this generation, along with the parents. The parents is not making it any better. You know, they are kind of numb to what's really going on. Some of these parents are in the loop. You know, you have, you know, babies having babies, and the grandmothers are getting younger and younger. And, you know, you have these 50-year-olds and these, you know, mid-40-year-old women out here trying to compete with the younger girls, and you have these 50 to 45 to 50-year-old men still trying to compete with the younger males. I mean, with the tight clothes and stuff like that. It's just looking disgusting. And it's like, how did we get to this point, you know? So, you know, like I said, today and tonight, I'm not trying to be on here for too long. And I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts that I had and some things that I seen in the news that I wanted to talk about. So I said, hey, why not? And, you know, we here. So, but that was one of the things I was disgusted about, is these smash and grabs. It's like, it's unbelievable. Excuse me. So what we have to talk about today is, I'm sitting here trying to figure out where I'm gonna go first, but we're gonna go ahead right on to it, and we're gonna talk about the 12-year-old girl that accidentally shot her cousin in the head with a gun. when I looked at this, and as I look at this, this is way deeper than just, well, someone got shot and then she turns around and shoots herself. Now, some people sit there and say it was accidentally shoot herself. But if you watch the video, and I did see the video, she shoots her cousin. She holds her head like this, and she falls to the ground. Moments later, you will hear the gun go off. My guess is, and my perception is, and my discernment is, she shoots her cousin, and then, out of fear, her life flashes before her eyes. Out of fear, oh, I shot my cousin, I'm in big trouble. Now remember, she's only 12 years old, and she's numb to this. Yes, we see this on TV all the time. Yes, this goes on in neighborhoods, but once you in it, it's a different ball game. Once you involved with it some way, somehow, you accidentally shoot somebody, or you shoot somebody, it's a different ball game. And it's unfortunate that they was in the bathroom, and obviously or evidently there were other people in the house. So as she shoots her cousin, she falls down out of fear. Her life flashes before her eyes. I'm going to get in trouble for shooting my cousin. They're going to get me. And I believe she shot herself in the head. That was no accident, because a person that's in shock will be still sitting there in shock as the whole situation go on. They would not pick up a gun. They'll be crying, they'll be woo. They would not pick up a gun. And they try to make a case, well, the gun accidentally went off. No, she shot herself out of fear. And unfortunately, she lost her life, and her cousin lost her life. And the people that was in that house, now I don't know who gun that was, but this is what I would say. Number one, condolences to the family. But number two, this is why this new generation of hip hop, with all these gangsters or gang members getting signed to labels, bringing their street life into the studio and really taking it to the street. These kids listen to this music day in and day out, watch their videos day in and day out, because you have unlimited access to internet, and that is done on purpose, by the way. But I digress, and you're seeing this every day. So what's going to happen when you feed your mind with filth, when you feed your children mind with filth, and when we feeding these children mind with filth constantly every day, with no leader, because there's no leaders out here. These so-called leaders that's out here, they're not out here. Okay, they out here, but they're the problem, because none of them is stopping it. None of them is speaking up. Nobody's really taking a real stand. It's just when they do take a stand, it's a half stand. It's not like well, the whole culture has changed. There's no leaders in this generation that's in office or that's in position to be a leader. There may be some in the wings, but that's as far as some of these leaders go. See, the thing is, I believe scripturally is that the real leaders are being held back until the time is set to reveal some of these things. But the truth is already out there. You just got to search it. But anyway, it's this industry, this evil Babylonian industry. It's killing our generation. It's a dead. Yes, so the camera had cut off, so we had to get back in it. I hope everything still look fine or whatever. It's not blurry or whatnot. But let's get back into it. So like I said, it's a dead generation, and this industry is not helping. The satanic industry has taken over politics. Satanic. Some of these, but I'm gonna save that one. But having these guns in the houses right now, and being in this type of world that we live in, the younger generation has taken over this generation. And I don't mean that saying that they took it over, but these are your new leaders that's going to be coming up in the future. I don't believe that we're going to see that. And if we do, hey, good luck with that. The kid that was on the ride in Florida, and let me go back to the 12-year-old shooting her cousin, to the family members. How did these children get this gun? Why was a gun so that accessible to these children to get? Where did they get the gun from? Why is a gun so accessible for them to get? That's a big question, because I believe there is something wrong with that. Somebody needs to be charged for that or questioned about that. Why the gun was loaded in the house that full of young kids that that's listening to this type of music. Gotta think. Gotta separate yourself from this culture, y'all. It's killing the kids. It's killing the youth. It's killing this next generation. But I believe the Bible also, where it says it's going to get worse and worse. These times that we in now, you got the war going on, you got the pandemic going on, and some other things that's going to pop off soon. The industry is going insane. People are going insane. Politics are going insane. Politics is dead. It's just a crazy world, and we have to be careful. So the kid in Florida that died falling off the ride.
And we asked 2 ride safety experts to take a look at this image. It shows the position of Tyree Sampson's harness moments before the ride got started. Here's a side profile view of Tyree Sampson in his seat on free fall. The 14-year-old kicking his legs as he waits to be lifted more than 400 feet in the air and then dropped. The only thing keeping him in his seat is that harness.
I see a patron in an amusement ride, and that over-the-shoulder restraint system is not properly affixed.
Experts say Sampson's harness may have been locked, but it was not pulled down far enough, leaving a gap. You can see the difference in how his fit compared to other riders in the video.
It should have been a closed circuit, if you will, so where it came all the way down over the shoulders, containing the person and or resting in their lap and at the seat pan.
In this video, inspectors taking a close look at Sampson's seat and the position of the harness. According to the operation manual, the weight limit for the ride is 287 pounds. Sampson weighed 340 pounds, so he was 53 pounds over the weight limit. The state's accident report says free fall was coming down the tower. When the magnets engaged, the patron came out of the seat, harness still in a down and locked position when the ride stopped.
That created enough G-force to throw him out of the ride because it came down and stopped abruptly.
So did any of the warning lights go off? Employees could be heard discussing that seconds after the tragedy.
You guys are sure you checked it? So you shouldn't be able to press that button to make the ride go if any of these devices were not properly secured.
That's another unfortunate situation, because I believe that that was poor work, poor authority that was around them at that time. It was poor just recognizing what's around you, making sure that all these kids are locked in and loaded, locked in, not locked and loaded, but locked in, and they won't fall off the ride. It's unfortunate. It's senseless. Poor decisions. That's what I wanted to say. I was trying to find a word. It was poor decisions. They did not go back and double check. You guys to have at least on those type of rides or any rides, usually you have one go lock and one come back and make sure he did lock it or she locked it. That's how it's supposed to go when you riding on these rides. It's called security, bag security, bad advisory. I wish one of the parents was looking and saying, hey, my kids, it's not locked in. It's still loose. You gotta lock it in. And nobody said a thing. So, what happened is unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It's sad, man. Next thing, a pastor, well, it says a former pastor.
It was a sad moment. It was an emotional moment because, as our global team has said, not everybody knew about everything that had gone on.
The pastor of the Atlanta branch of Hillsong Mega Church is stepping down. This comes as the larger mega church deals with its founder's misconduct allegations. 11 Alive's Karis Belger was there for his final service as he tried to guide his congregation in a new direction.
Today is a day of clarity. Today is a day of wrestling. And today is also a day where we embrace what's next.
Setting the tone for Sunday's service, Pastor Sam Collier, formerly of Hillsong Atlanta, didn't shy away from addressing the scandals that rocked the global congregation.
Love Pastors Brian and Bobby, but yet we're able to recognize where some mistakes were made.
Collier, who became the first black pastor in the church's global network in June of 2021, announced earlier in the week that Sunday's service would be the church's last as Hillsong Atlanta. A statement on social media said in part, it's become difficult to lead and grow a young church in this environment.
And people don't come to church for scandal. They come to church to have a safe place.
His announcement came after a series of scandals involving Hillsong's founder, Brian Houston, and the sister church in New York. During the service and afterward, Collier and other church leaders attempted to communicate a message of resilience in the face of adversity.
I love what Pastor Truth said. What God starts, he will complete. That's right.
It was also during Sunday's service that Collier took time to speak on his new venture, Story Church, that would begin on April 17th, Easter Sunday. The message was one people in attendance said gave them comfort about following Collier into his next chapter.
We didn't know what to think, we didn't know what to expect, but I felt he was transparent, and I felt moving forward, we're excited.
In Atlanta, Karis Belger, 11 Alive News.
In Atlanta, from Hillsong, was devastated about what's going on with Hillsong. I've been telling people about Hillsong for a long time, and and I saw this type of movement going on before I even really heard of Hillsong. I seen the transformation in churches, before, Hillsong came out. It's this charismatic movement that's going on. It's this hyper extended gospel that just crept in the church. And I've been saying this for a long time, and I got this. Well, I haven't been saying it for a long time. I had it in my heart for a long time, and now I'm bringing it out now that we got this church thing all wrong. I believe so. That's why there's none really standing like that. Have you noticed that all these churches that's supposed to have the support of the people, they're not really making any big splashes. Like, you don't see a change in the nation. You don't see a change in the body of Christ. And see, that's my issue. And so you have all these scandals and stuff that's going on with Hillsong, and then all these other churches that model after them is doing the same thing. Is, again, poor doctrine, poor leadership, lack of knowledge. A lot of these churches have kept many people in bondage regarding the truth. Because if these people would know the truth, a lot of Christians wouldn't be wavering. The leaders in the pulpit won't have these many scandals. I mean, I know it goes on, but let's be honest, this thing been popping off for a few years now. I've been seeing it. So you can't tell me that there's something that ain't going on. It's a spirit going on. It's a spirit world out there. Everything the Bible said is true. Everything the Lord said is true. Don't get mad at me for saying it. Your Hillsong, your Bethel, your Elevation churches, all those churches that look alike, sound alike, same doctrine, same Bible translations. Yes, we going deep over here. I told y'all, it's coming out now. It's coming out. You're going to see it. You have no other choice but to see it. I used to hate this saying, but it's becoming true. Get out of your false church. Now, I'm not saying there's not no good general churches out there. I'm not saying that. But overall, and I'm going to say this with complete confidence, overall, the majority of this church thing that we got going on is being controlled by government with special interests. And if we don't get this together, we're going to have some huge problems. So I'm not going to go too deep, but make sure you check out all my videos on YouTube and on Instagram. This is 316. I'll holler at you. 1.